Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Get Crystallized Show. I am your host, Coach Crystal. And like crystals, strong women are made under pressure. And today I am so excited. I have an amazing guest, Allison Blackwood, who is here. She is the founder of Optimal Pathway Inc. Is a human resource consultant and a Christian life balance coach. Prior to starting her own company, Allison worked for over 25 years, combined in human resource, change and operations management, and organizational development. Allison has pursued formal education in industrial engineering and human resource management and development. Allison is also the author of inspirational content, and her desire to share and help others on the journey to live a balanced life motivated her to write her first book, Victorious Healing and Growth Through God's Grace, in 2014. I love that title. And the first chapter of the book is entitled Seeking Balance in a Busy World. As a Christian life balance coach, Allison is focused on helping women who want to find and implement workable strategies to successfully manage their many responsibilities, avoid burnout, and experience a sense of accomplishment at the end of each day. I don't know about you ladies, but I'm really excited. Who here needs life balance? And I'm sure there's a lot of us here who are putting up our hands and understanding, yes, help me with burnout. That is exactly what I'm experiencing right now. And what does life balance even mean? So without further ado, I would love now to say hello and welcome to Allison. How are you?
Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for welcoming me. Good morning, Crystal, and also to all of those who will be listening. I am so happy to be here, and thank you for having me
Oh, I'm
inviting me
so.
and welcoming me onto this show. I'm so excited.
And
Um,
where is home, Allison?
okay, I live in Barbados, Caribbean island, Eastern Caribbean. Yes, so it's a very small island, 166 square miles.
Wow.
So
And so, I love that you are. Your purpose is to really like you had shared, to find that life balance, to avoid burnout, which I know a lot of my audience has experienced, especially throughout this pandemic. So I'm super excited for you to teach us all about life balance.
yes, okay, great. Yes, it is I think it's one of those terms that for different people it can mean different things, but in the context of like balance, is to me it's like looking about how you weigh. The best way is like where you distribute weight. We know that in life there's no such thing as one. It doesn't always stay the same. We're changing, but there's always that need to find some kind of balance because we can't achieve the utopia doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to do the best we can. So within life balance is about looking at all your different responsibilities and intentionally looking to see how you can manage, because we know if you build a house, if you just decide, you want something here or there, it's not going to be the same as if you intentionally look at your plan. You want 3 rooms, you want 2 bathrooms, you decide before you how to put where to put things. And with life balance we can see the time, the waiting would be the time that we have to spread across our different roles. We know we only have 24/7 in any one day. So what happens is that sometimes we find that things are being thrown at us without us really understanding, and we just reactively just say yes, yes, yes. But if we can step back a bit and start to think, okay, can I do this? What's already on my plate? How long does this take? We might be able to honor the responsibilities or sometimes spread them over a longer period of time. So the whole thing about life balance means that we will start now become aware. So the
Mm.
first thing is to aware that we even need to explore it. So we become aware. So I'm actually going to look at it from 3 perspectives. Become aware. Once we become aware, then we can start looking at how we can avoid the challenges, the things that are causing us to feel burnt out, and then look at how we can agree, make commitments to ourselves, be intentional. So those are the three things. We become aware, we avoid, and we agree.
I just want to just add in there, I'm sure that there's a lot of women who have a hard time saying no. And because we're super women, we're super women, we can do all things, right? But I love that you said, okay, wait a minute, is this adding on to my life? Do I actually have the bandwidth for this? So I'd love for you to just unpack a little bit about awareness first. What does that even look like?
Okay, awareness also involves understanding what the responsibilities that we have to do really involves. A good example I like is we all know about baking a cake.
Mm.
So if by chance someone asks me to bake a cake in 2 hours, and I just say yes quickly, but I never check if I have all the ingredients in the house, and then I suddenly realize, oh dear, I don't have the flour, I don't have the butter, but I already committed myself, and then I have to go to the supermarket. It's 15 minutes away, but I committed to getting the cake ready in 2 hours. I know it's like, no, I might. And then for some women, it's hard for us to call back and say, okay, I need some more time, because sometimes we don't want to disappoint. So we're now going to frantically try and leave the house, go to the supermarket, which might take us 15 minutes to get there, another 20 minutes in the supermarket, then we get back home. So if we look at it so that would be like 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, that's 15 minutes already out of the time. Then we have to say that it takes 45 minutes to actually bake the cake, because though we say bake the cake, baking is only the time it goes in the oven. We never talk about the fact that we had to prepare the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So then we find ourselves having 25 minutes to try to prepare the utensils, mix the batter, and then we're scrambling. So we might get it done, but under stress. The other option is that we said yes, but we have all the ingredients in the house. Because we thought back, and before we said yes, we thought about our reality. We said, okay, we have the ingredients, so we can say yes to 2 hours. It's a simple solution, but the thing about it, it might seem simple, but in the rush and busyness of life, we might just say yes, and we never got a chance to step back and say, hold on, let me think about what it really means to make my cake. So let's just translate that into everything we do in our lives. So we can easily overcommit, because we just a few minutes, and it's something that women do, as you rightly said. We are nurturers, we are caregivers, we want to help.
Yes.
But then we found that we promised the cake to this person, we promised something to somebody else. We forgot that we didn't have all the ingredients in the house, in our different spheres, in our different parts of life. Now we're scrambling. So if I have all the ingredients in the house, and I was able to make the cake in 2 hours, it took me 45 minutes to bake the cake, which is what I promised, but I forgot about the part of preparation. But because I have, in the first scenario, I'm not comparing the two, it's the same me, but the first scenario is I did not remember, I didn't remember that I had some things and didn't have some. The second option, I remembered, I know I have all the ingredients, so now I can make the cake much easier. So the question is, which one is more efficient? Efficient, because efficiency also involves knowing my constraints.
Yes.
So a woman now who wants to do a good job might actually start to hit herself over her head for things that she's taken account for, that was not, for it wasn't that she did a bad job in the first scenario, just that there were some things that were not factored into the whole process. So it's like, that's where the awareness comes. Before I even say yes, I have to stop and ask, what does, so in my mind now is like, you have the preparation, the implementation, and also the cleanup after. Because after you make a cake, you still have to clean up. So if we can see things in those three veins, when we decide to commit, we're committing to the before, the execution, and the after.
I love that analogy. I'm going to start using that now. And I'm sure for a lot of our, listeners out there, it's like, okay, yes, before I agree to anything, whether it's, being the the designated mom who picks up all the kids for their sports, whether it be, this extra project that my boss wants me to take on, whether it is even just, being voluntold that you have to, be the organizer for a friend's surprise birthday party. I love that. I love that analogy. Do I have all the things? Do I have the time? Do I have it? Do I have all of the things necessary in front of me? And do I have, that bandwidth even the after? I love that analogy of the cake. I love that. That's awesome. And as you were sharing, it's like, wow, if I was in scenario 1, I'm producing not the best cake. In other words, I'm not producing my best work. And then I'm going to feel guilty. And then, or I'm going to, it could even maybe feel, that I'm letting someone down. So then I feel pressured, I feel stressed, I feel anxious. It's just this whole kind of snowball to then, which I know you're going to talk about, is feeling burnt out, because you're scrambling, you're like an octopus with your hands in so many things, and you're not producing good work, right?
Yes.
So I would love for you to share about, okay, so how do we then avoid this type of burnout?
Well, the thing about it is recognizing that unlike an organization, we are one. In an organization, I mean, I would have spent a lot of years working for organizations. If you need help, you can hire another person. So you might find, like, for customer service, if you go to customer service, they typically more than one person at the front desk to help you. But if you're the only person, you are an organization in your own right of one person. So the first thing is to recognize within that alone is that you have to be gentle on yourself. First of all, um, see the warning signs and recognize that you, as and me and all of us, because of course we're all on that journey. We're all on the journey. Is that we as one person can't do it all ourselves also, and there's nothing wrong with even saying I'm sorry, but can we do it over a longer period of time? Can the person who's asking me to help them help me? You know, how
Mm-hmm.
can we do it all so that at the end of the day, our list of responsibilities don't get so long that at the end of the day we're just, like, dropping down in the chair after and still not feeling that sense of fulfillment. So the awareness is like also saying that we have a capacity which we start with 24/7, so instead of feeling that we failed, recognize that there are certain things outside of our control, that and so don't take it that I am the one who have failed. And that's something I think is big for women. When
Yes.
things don't work, even though sometimes you can see, is like thinking that is, but it's just saying, no, I am not the failure. I haven't failed. I have done as the best I can. I can do more soul searching to see how I can utilize my time. But just to remember, don't take on that title of it. It's just like, just reject that title. So as we continue, I have another example about the highway. And I think I just love analogies because I think my brain has always been like that. I think very good with object lessons. So the next one is that imagine that we are going down the highway. It's a smooth road, and so we have a speed limit of but then somebody might say, okay, let me go a little faster simply because the highway is clear. But as opposed to someone who's going to go up a hill, typically the person who's going up the hill would recognize that there's a more danger going up that hill. But it doesn't mean that even though you have the highway that you can't burn out. And I think that's the other side of burnout. That it doesn't mean that because I have all the tools and the resources, because we are now in a 24/7 connected environment. Just because internet is up 24/7 don't mean that I should be on my um, mobile phone checking emails every minute. So that's the other side, is that though the highway is there because technology is there, we still have to recognize that there's certain safety, I call them safety guidelines, to put in place to still recognize you still need to make sure that during the day you take care of yourself, you take care of your family, yes, you have your work responsibility and all the different facets. Because the fact is, it's still only certain amount of hours in a day. So it's all about that awareness. And it's like different habits to avoid the burnout, understanding that it's going to take time to change one habit at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and even celebrate the fact that, we're changing one habit at a time. And as you rightly said before, the domino effect, the snowball, you change one and then we will see the effects in other parts of our lives. So as the vehicle continue going down the highway, sometimes it might have to go up a hill.
Mm.
So in summary, as far as that part is concerned, be concerned, be aware and concerned too. Be aware that even though we're going on the highway, there's still certain things that we can and cannot do or shouldn't try to do, because we can still burn out on the
Mm-hmm.
highway. And the fact is, even a well-maintained vehicle still needs fuel. Because
Yes.
there are two sides. You have to maintain the vehicle, but you still need to give it fuel.
Yes.
So it's always that, and the fuel is more like now your self-care, taking care of. I mean, I'm always into the machinery concepts as well. But it's like, we were made, God made us a fantastic body, but He
Yes.
still expects us to take care of it. And
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with us taking care of ourselves. It's actually a gift to our family and those around us when we take good care of ourselves. Because
Amen.
then we can show up to them in a lot more healthy, rich way. So
Yes.
it's all about that. The different, and there's another analogy, which is coming more home to health. And I guess you can attest to it. If I had to lift, I was going to look at the maximum that any person can lift. I don't know what the Guinness Book of Records is, but even if I distribute the maximum, more than the maximum balance, it means, can I lift it? There's still a limit beyond that capacity. So life balance doesn't mean that because I have it equally distributed, I'm going to do more.
Mm-hmm.
So because then we can hurt our muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So life balance also means that I am not going to try to add more over that limit because I have already organized the things that I have in mind. Because I still have to look at the limit of the weight that
Yes.
the body can, even if it's well distributed, there's still a
Yes.
limit.
Yes. I'm gonna just quickly go back to your highway analogy. Like, yeah, when I mean we when I can totally envision it. Clear road, you want to just go a little bit faster. I can do more. I can do more. I can do more. Um, and I really appreciate that you shared, look, you have to take care of you first, then your family, then your career. Because I know that when women who are experiencing burnout, from my experience being in the health industry for 17 years and serving women, their health is on the bottom of their list and they're burnt out. And their self-care, what does that even mean? Because they're just so on the go, 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 serving everybody else except themselves. And I know you appreciate analogies. One of my favorite analogies is, well, when you're on a plane, they tell you, when those oxygen masks fall, they tell you to put it on yourself first before you can put it on your kids or your spouse or the ones that you love. And so avoiding that burnout, like you said, it's like we have to take care of this one vehicle that the Lord has blessed us with. And if we're keep going, 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 and we're not taking care of ourselves, we're not, that whole self-care piece. Yeah, we're not. How are we serving others with that empty cup? It's like they're getting our leftovers, right? And they deserve more than our leftovers. They deserve a beautiful 5-course meal, right? So I love that. I love that you had mentioned that self-care should be a priority, and that would help to avoid burnout.
Yes.
So what's the next step?
And the next step is actually I based on the three tier, the awareness, the avoidance, and the agreeing, is like it's like giving our agree to give ourselves that gift, that room to rediscover basically who we are and what the purpose God has for us, to give ourselves that gift. Because there are times I think that in the roles that women play, they might actually um, put that on, I think you kind of agreed to it, put it on the back burner.
Mm.
And so that whole issue of rediscovery is also to me a very important part of the equation
Mm.
of getting back this balance. Realizing that we can agree to heed the warnings,
Mm-hmm.
we can agree to listen to what our bodies are telling us,
Mm-hmm.
we can agree to built in. I think there's something that I remember learning before, quality in manufacturing. You don't wait to the end of the process to just check that a product is good quality. You build quality into the process. So we can agree to build in our lives the things that would help us to, as was you said before, to show up our best. We can build that in. We can agree to build in time to account for things that are unexpected, meaning that we would make sure that when we commit to things, we give ourselves some room
Mm.
between the our obligations. We can agree that even on the highway of life, when we reach roadblocks or traffic jams, so many unexpected things, that we would step back and even don't take the blame for these roadblocks. Because I think even sometimes women can even do that. They might even take the blame for the things that happen that were not their responsibility. So we can agree to give ourselves the permission not to take on the guilt that is not ours. So we
Mm.
can agree, and I love the whole issue of agree, because as we agree, we internalize it for ourselves. We can agree to consider all the information, look, seek out information, even seek out assistance and community for
Yeah.
support. Seek out wise counsel and realize that it's not being weak to ask for help. In fact, it is um, a very good thing, part of growth, because we all need help. I mean, nobody can say that we are here on our own, because from the time we were little, we had our parents were taking care of us, we had caregivers, we had teachers. So we are not here because of our own steam.
Yes.
God did it that we were built, that community was built into our very existence. So we can agree to seek out information from the wise counsel. We can agree to recognize that even though sometimes we think through the best things, sometimes things don't work out the way we want. Doesn't mean that we have failed, but we can try again and again and grow and grow and grow and learn from the things that didn't go the way we wanted them to go in the past. It doesn't mean that we fail. It's just that we are now wiser because of experiences. We don't know, as they say, what don't work.
Yes.
So now we can explore what will work. So we
Mm-hmm.
can do all that for ourselves and basically take that, what I call that weight off our shoulders, that way of feeling the overwhelmness, because we're giving ourselves the permission to basically take back that proactive approach to determining how we spend our days. So there's a lot of agreement in there. Agree, 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 and grow and
I
grow and grow.
Yes, I agree. I agree. It's interesting because, we said at the beginning of our time together, like as women, we tend to feel like, okay, we can do it all. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. But I agree with you that, and I say this all the time, coaches need coaches. Even leaders in every industry have a coach. And what does that coach help with? It helps you, number one, with accountability, right? Number two, you mentioned like habits. Okay, so perhaps that coach is going to keep you accountable because you recognize, okay, these are some habits I need to break. these are habits that I need to make, and that coach is going to help you every step of the way. And like you, I believe that failure is not a failure. In fact, it's only a lesson. And in R3, we teach, okay, you are going to fail, and it's okay to fail as long as you fail forward.
Yes.
And so that, you know, accepting, okay, you know what? I've been doing this on my own for a really long time and I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck. I haven't grown. So maybe I need help. Maybe I need help in this area. And that is not a sign of weakness, right? Because there is strength in numbers, isn't there? And having a coach who has, you know, either already, you know, cemented that path, and that coach can be like, okay, learn from me. I've done it that way. That way is a hard way. Come this way, right? And so I 1000% agree with you. So if you were to kind of sum up all that you have shared, and I love that they all happen to start with the letter A. If you can tie it up in a beautiful little bow, how would you sum everything up?
Okay, so in terms of it, the three A's, I guess we have to agree that we matter at the end of the day. We matters that we take ourselves serious, that we are aware of our realities, that we recognize where we're at in the process, that we actually ask God to give us the strength to find the healthy habits, that we avoid the things that create burnout, but understand that it will take time to get there because we will take one step at a time. We avoid the whole notion of guilt. Well, I'm talking about the guilt where things are outside of our control and we're taking it. We avoid taking that on. And we accept and agree. I've put another A in there. Accept and agree that we can start making small changes today. That we can start, and I love what you said, we're going to fail and we're going to move forward. So we can make the change, one incremental step in the right direction, and it will have a snowball effect. And we will continue building and building and building. And because of that approach, we will then become even more of what our families need. And they themselves will catch the vision and it will
Mm-hmm.
start to spread. And then it
Mm-hmm.
will become like a movement, I guess you could call it.
I love that. And you're absolutely right. I feel that, you know, a lot of the times women in the home are the catalyst for change. And so I absolutely love that. So I always love to end off, you know, my show when I have a wonderful guest like you, sharing what is your, what mark do you want to leave on this world? What is your legacy?
For me, my legacy is I always see myself as part of I always say that my desire is not to is for the baton for me to be able to pass it to generations after. I want to not, it's not going to be thrown, it's going to be passed gently, lovingly. There are things that I would have been invested in terms of knowledge and skills. So my responsibility is to share with those around me, and to help make the corner of the world where God has placed me a brighter, a better place. I never see that I was just here coincidentally. God has placed us all here to shine, for him to shine through us. He's given us different skills, and we're not, to me, I don't say it as competing, I say it as complementing
Yeah.
each other. We come together with so much different strengths that we can help each other, and then as we move forward, we're all living in that purposeful life. And to me, I want to just pass that baton gracefully to the generations coming after me.
Oh, amen. I love that. So if someone who is listening right now and is like, will you please, Allison, pass me the baton, where can they find you?
Well, I have a website. I can provide the website link, and I have a contact details. I have my website. It's treasurefromhim.com, which in itself was developed as an oasis. That was the understanding the busyness of life. I think that was from 20, it was about a few years now. When I check back on how long I've been on this, it was about maybe about 2010 when I started to really put stuff, blog, and and it's like God brought me this whole concept of treasured fountain is the place where we refresh along the way. Optimal pathway is about aligning time with purpose. So we have the two parts. We are on the journey, but we have to stop and rest a while. So optimalpathway.com is the path going forward, but treasure fountain is the oasis. You stop, you rest, you regroup, you recharge. So through those two mediums, I do have contacts. I can also provide my email address and contact links. So yes, definitely.
Perfect. Well, I will add all of that info in the description below, and all of your links and your contact links for any of our listeners who want to have a talk with you, who are interested in learning more about what you offer. So I just want to thank you so much for your time and your passion and your energy and your 3 A's. And I loved all of the analogies, and I'm sure all of our listeners appreciated that. So thank you again, Allison. I wish you all the best, and I know we'll stay in touch.
Yes.
And I know God has an amazing, amazing plan for you, and I cannot wait to witness it unfold. So thank you for being a guest on the Get Crystallized Show, and I will definitely have you again.
Thank you. And I'm happy to be here, and I'll be available another time. That's good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, ladies, for listening, for joining in. And of course, we will be back every Friday, 12 p.m. EST. So thank you once again to my beautiful guest, Allison, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank
Renew,
you.
refresh.
Thank
All
you.
right. Renew, refresh, restore your mind, body, and spirit with us here at R3. Have an amazing day, everybody. Thank you.